Okay, so I'm going to give you how I contour my face, and I'm also going to give you some tips on how you should contour yours based on your face shape and just what you would like to accentuate and what you would like to hide. So first and foremost, I like to brighten up underneath my eyes, and anywhere you're going to generally put light, you're going to put it where you would want it to seem closer or further away from your face, somewhere like where the sun would naturally hit you, you know, along the highlight line. So you'd be highlighting basically in the same parts as you would be doing the lights. And then you want to carve out with the dark where you would like it to go away. So for me, I like my cheeks to come in a little bit more sunken in. And then I also like to shorten my forehead. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first we're going to start with the light. We're going to highlight first. Always lightest to darkest, no matter what you're doing, whether it's contour, whether it's eyeshadow. I like it to go lightest to darkest. It's my preference. So one of the first things I like to use is concealer in a shade, a couple shades lighter, like probably 2 to 3 shades lighter than my actual skin tone. So don't match it to your foundation perfectly if you're trying to contour. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to draw out some lines here. Now you don't have to do the same pattern, but if this is where you like I like my nose to look a little on the skinnier side. As you can see, it's already doing it because my foundation is a little bit darker than the actual concealer or whatever light you're trying to use. If you have a concealer compact, or if you have like a contour one, you can use the lightest color. I'm going to blend this in, and normally if I was doing a cream, I would put the cream dark in and then do the light, and then I would blend the two together. But because I'm using a powder for the darker contouring, I'm going to go ahead and smooth out my cream and blend it in. As you can see, it's already highlighting, and if you want a little bit more, by all means, you can highlight further down your cheek if you like the way it's carving under. And technically where I carve, I kind of feel for my cheekbone, so you can feel it, it's right under there, and right where you would feel your cheekbone is kind of where you're going to carve out with your dark, and then the top part would be the light. So that's going to help you to kind of know where to put it on your face. I think the most important contour is your cheeks out of any part of the contour, because you really want to accentuate your face. Everybody wants high cheekbones. Okay, so now that I've smoothed that concealer in, as you can see it's still light. It's nothing too crazy noticeable because I've blended it in. I need to set it before I put that darker powder on, otherwise it'll settle into my lighter parts. So you always want to set your cream, and I am setting mine with the lightest powder. Actually, I'm going to use my little blender brush. Okay, so now we're going to go into the darker color. So now we're going to carve out, we're going to minimize what we don't want to see. Now, some people really like a pointy nose. I don't really go too much on my nose, just I don't have a very big nose. But if you have a bigger sized nose and you would like to have more of a point or a skinny line, we would take a smaller brush that you can kind of carve that out with. So sometimes those little smudge brushes are great because you can draw a nice line down the tip of your nose. If you tend to have a big ball on the end of the nose, you're going to want to come underneath to right to the edge of where that point is. But because I don't overly contour my nose. So I'm going to go in with this angled brush. I can't even talk today. But anyway, so this is the Lisa Frank brushes. I don't know if you've been into those, but I'm really into those because I loved Lisa Frank when I was little. So I'm gonna go in with a really darker shade. I like this one in a warmer tone for myself. Sometimes I go as dark as that, just depending on how harsh. I would say find a medium or whatever your skin tone is. A lot of times you can find a nice contour palette that is powder, that is in light shades, medium shades, and dark shades. So find your shade. I'm obviously fair skinned, so I would be in the lighter shades. So I always blow off excess on my brushes just so I don't get any of those little loose falls. I do the same thing with my eyeshadows. It's a good little tip. So, like I said, you can kind of see that pattern of where my cheekbone is. I'm gonna bring it down. Right there. Yep. Don't worry, it's not gonna stay that way, so don't get scared. Don't be afraid to play with your makeup. And if you're worried about using your good makeup to like practice learning how to contour, I suggest, hey, I did a Dollar Tree video and they sell these little contour kits, and I would say grab one of those contour kits and practice with it. Then you're not wasting, you know, $50 compacts and, you know, $30 concealers trying to practice. If you're just practicing, it's a great way to just have a bunch of makeup to like work on your skills, because that's really what it is. Once you work on your skills, you can do it with any makeup, and then you'll get excited about makeup like I get excited about makeup. So shorten the forehead, like I said. So I'm gonna rub it along my hairline. Apparently I didn't get enough. I don't have to go crazy, just a little bit. And don't worry about it being too dark. You can always blend it out. And for me, I like my jawline to be even more heart-like, so I rub it along the jawline just to soften it. Especially if you have a very harsh jawline, I would definitely say rub it along the jawline to smooth it out. If you have a nice pointy chin, no need to contour down there. You don't want to be triangle for a chin. But for us girls, we're strong. We need it. So another one is I contour down my neck, because why contour the face and not the neck? You get those people that have white face and then they don't blend their neck, and you can see where the line is. I'm not a big fan of that. I like it to be smooth and transition down. So now you can see. And the good thing about powder is a little more forgiving than cream. Cream can be a little, if you're not used to working with it, I always say, hey, go to powder, because you can definitely blend it out. So now we've got this nice line. And you know what? Hey, for shits and giggles, I'm gonna do my nose just for you, just so you can kind of see what it would look like. So this is so I can get that little skinny pattern. Does that look skinny enough for you? Look how pointy that looks. I might look like I got a little witch nose. Some people are into it, but I'm doing it for you. So now you can see, got the point. All you're gonna do is you wanna leave a space for light, because that's where we're drawing attention to. By carving out, we are drawing attention to the light that we did underneath our eyes, accentuating our cheekbones, pushing them forward, pushing our chin forward. I like to accentuate the top of my lips, makes my lips feel fuller. And then, like I said, right through here, keeping this nice and bright around the most important part, the eyes, which is my favorite to do of makeup. So let's get to blending. Okay, so I'm gonna be using my It Cosmetics. I like my powder there. I also love Dermablend too, so I can leave that out. Now you're gonna take your regular powder that matches your face, and you're gonna go over that, blending out those harsh lines, and so you can soften your contour so you don't look like you're a zebra, basically. So I like to go in circles. I like to find the fluffiest brush. I like my mermaid brushes. I'm big just as long as they are natural hair. Sometimes those synthetic ones, not that they're bad. Hey, if you got synthetic, make it work. you know, not all of us are blessed with $1 million to afford brushes, there are some really great brushes out there that you can do. But as you see, I am softening up those harsh lines. And I'm only going around the top of my forehead. Like I said, I don't like a whole lot of powder on my forehead because I don't want to accentuate any lines. I don't want my makeup settling. I want it to look flawless, like everybody else would. As you see, those lines are a lot softer. I gotta get down that neck. Don't want dirty neck. And last but not least, let's blend out that nose. I'm going to use a little bit of a smaller brush just so I can get in there. And if you have a hard time and that line is just a little too, you can blend it out with that beauty blender to get it to be nice and soft. Now I've got a nice little contour. I want you to go and practice your contour skills. Now mind you, we don't have any of the rest of the makeup on, but it will come together once you put your blush and your highlighter and your eyes. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you watch my videos, get some tips. If you have any suggestions on things that you'd like me to do for you, definitely. I'm definitely gonna be posting an eyebrow tutorial so that you can get a really good, easy follow along eyebrow tutorial. Thanks for watching.